refused to give up. In the busy city of Lagos, where the streets were always loud and the nights never truly slept, there lived a young boy named Daniel. Daniel had no parents, no family, no home. At just 10 years old, he already understood a painful truth about life: the world could be very unfair. His parents had died in a terrible accident when he was only 7. After that day, relatives promised to take care of him. But promises are easy to make and easy to break. Within months, Daniel found himself sleeping on the streets. Every morning, he woke up under an old wooden kiosk near a busy market. While other children carried school bags, Daniel carried a tray of pure water on his head, walking from street to street shouting, "Pure water! Cold pure water!" Sometimes people bought from him. Sometimes they chased him away. Sometimes they insulted him. But Daniel never stopped trying. One afternoon, the sun was burning hot and the roads were dusty. Daniel had been walking all day but had barely sold anything. His stomach was empty. As he walked past a restaurant, the smell of fresh food filled the air. His legs suddenly felt weak. He sat down by the roadside, holding his tray tightly. For a moment, tears filled his eyes. "God, why is life so hard for me?" he whispered. But then he remembered something his mother once told him before she died. "Daniel, no matter how hard life becomes, never give up." He wiped his tears and stood up again. He continued walking. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. Daniel grew older, but his determination grew stronger. At night, when the market closed and the streets became quiet, he would sit near a small shop that had light outside. He used old newspapers and thrown away books to teach himself how to read. People laughed at him. "Look at the street boy pretending to be a student," they mocked. But Daniel ignored them. He kept learning. He kept walking. He refused to give up. One evening, a woman named Mrs. Adeyemi, a school principal, passed by the market. She noticed Daniel sitting on the ground reading an old torn book under the streetlight. She stopped. "Why are you reading here?" she asked. Daniel stood up respectfully. "I want to go to school someday," he said. The woman looked surprised. "Where are your parents?" "I don't have any." Her heart broke. "How do you even know how to read?" Daniel smiled shyly. "I taught myself." For a long moment, Mrs. Adeyemi said nothing. Then she spoke softly. "Come with me tomorrow." The next morning changed Daniel's life forever. Mrs. Adeyemi enrolled him in her school. She paid his fees. She gave him books, uniforms, and a place to stay. For the first time in years, Daniel slept on a real bed. And for the first time, he felt hope again. Daniel studied harder than anyone in the class. He never forgot the days he spent on the streets. Years later, he graduated as one of the best students in the university. Eventually, Daniel became a successful engineer. But he never forgot where he came from. So he built a small school for street children in the same market where he once sold pure water. On the opening day, he stood in front of hundreds of children and said something they would never forget. "I was once like you, a child with no one. But the moment you refuse to give up, your story can change." The children clapped and cheered. And somewhere in heaven, Daniel's mother was smiling. Moral of the story: no matter how difficult life becomes, the person who refuses to give up can still change their destiny. Watch out for part 2. And don't forget to follow, like and share.